Now, Portland, Oregon has seen, as a city, but the state in general has seen a record number of coronavirus cases. Now, Governor Brown has extended the mask requirement to the entire state. Joining us now is Naomi Pomeroy, chef and owner of Beast Restaurant in Portland. Naomi, great to have you on.
Hi, thanks for having me back.
Of course. So as I understand it, you closed your restaurant back in mid-March because you couldn't afford to do takeout. What is the status of your restaurant right now?
Right now, the restaurant is closed. We've been closed since March 14th. That was our last day of service. And my workers are all furloughed and collecting unemployment, as am I. So that's a weird place to be in after running a successful restaurant for 13 years.
Now, what do you think of this mask requirement being extended throughout the whole state? Does it put too much pressure possibly on businesses? I mean, who has to enforce this?
Yeah, unfortunately, I do agree with the mask requirement. I mean, ultimately, we need to keep our communities safe and reduce cases. And, people should wear masks, I think. I think that we've seen that across the country, that would be a helpful thing to do. However, the issue really is that at this point, especially in inside locations, people are required to wear masks, all customers, all workers. But the enforcement is actually left up to the business itself, which has created a lot of conflict. I've definitely seen people say they've been harassed by people who don't want to wear masks. And it really puts the onus on the business owners and operators, unfortunately. And I think that that's a tough place to be in when you're trying to be in the hospitality industry and in customer service.
And is that a concern that you have? I know that you did get a Paycheck Protection Program loan, but does that mean that you're going to have to hire more employees as a result of this requirement, enforcing the masks?
Right. I mean, I think that's just one of the many issues. I mean, they're recommending that people hire an additional worker actually to police mask wearing as people are entering your space. And with the fact that right now restaurant reservations are down, capacity is limited to 50% anyway for in-house dining. But if you look across the nation, people's restaurant reservations are down by almost 75% on average. So if you think about doing a quarter of the revenue that you used to make, and also having to hire additional employees, not alone buying PPEs, printing more menus, generating online content for people to be able to order remotely. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go into equalizing and normalizing the industry through this pandemic. And right now we're just in this very unknown period of time. So while, yes, I got the PPE, it's actually just an 8-week fix for a problem that seems like it's going to extend out until we have a vaccine and we have increased consumer confidence.
Now, I know that you guys did a big lobbying push to get the Paycheck Protection Program fixes that we have so far. Clearly, it's not going to be enough given that we don't know when the finish line is going to be with the coronavirus pandemic. But what else do you expect or hope that Congress is going to do to help stabilize the restaurant industry around the country?
Well, right now, I mean, like I said, I think I've said this on the last time I was on the show, but for those who don't know, the restaurant industry actually is the second largest private sector employer in the nation. We directly employ over 11 million people in small independent restaurants, and then 5 million people additionally through goods and services that we get in restaurants. And so really, up to 16 million people could be unemployed if restaurants are closing down, and they're closing down left and right. So, the Paycheck Protection Program fixes were a great start because we got some additional time to spend that money. However, it still only represents about 2 months of payroll when you look at it. And if we're going to be going out into this unknown period of time, we're going to need something else. And fortunately, we have 2 acts, one in Congress and one in Senate. They're both called the Restaurant Act, and they are proposing a $120 billion fund to stabilize the restaurant industry. They have a ton of bipartisan support, which is really exciting. And, what we hope is that will give places some grants. The money will be made up. Basically, whatever the sales you didn't do last year, that the reduction of your sales, you can qualify for grants that way. And that'll actually be first given to women and minority business owners and first given to businesses that are $1.5 million or less. And so really it's a way to equalize the playing field a lot. There were a lot of people that didn't qualify for the PPP or weren't able to get a PPP. So I think this is a really important way to protect those small businesses and to get people back to work.
For sure, that's definitely going to be important. So we'll see when you'll be able to open your restaurant. I definitely want you back on the show and able to do that. Naomi Pomeroy, chef and owner of Beast Restaurant. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.